Hello, beautiful people. Whatever that song is. I love the song. It's like, I don't know, it's like that some song, like beautiful people. It's like something like that. Anyway, how are you? When you join, say hello. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, say hashtag replay. Obviously, I really do believe in all these social media platforms as a tool of connectivity. But if you don't say hello, if you don't say that you're joining, if you don't give a wave, you don't say a hashtag replay, I don't know that you're here, and it makes me sad. And I have about I think between my videos, between Facebook, YouTube, and here, we get about a few hundred, 300, let's say, views within 24 hours between everything. So I know you guys are watching. I know there's hundreds of you, a couple hundreds of you, daily. And there's maybe 10% of the comments, which is actually good in the online world, but 10-20% is where you want to be. So I guess I'm on track. But I have lots of you in my DMs and my messages, which is always super fun. But today I wanted to talk about a specific topic. Hey, Kendall, how are you? I wanted to talk about conflict in relationships, because a big key that a lot of you come to me with is relationships. It's understanding relationships. It's why aren't clients enrolling? Why don't I have a relationship? Why is my relationship falling apart? And I wanted to just do this quick message and transmission on that. So we kind of, especially women, have been sold this story that we're going to have this fairy tale life, and men just do these things, and men are like this, and all this stuff. And men have kind of been sold, I guess, a fairy tale as well. It's you always have this beautiful woman, she takes care of things for you, so you can go and produce, and it makes this happy life, right? And obviously life is much different than what the fairy tale sold us. And so one thing I have definitely had to learn in growth as a leader in business and also in relationships is knowing that there's always going to be conflict, and that there's always going to be a point when two people, right? Because you have two people who have their own identity. I am Colleen, I have my own identity, and whoever your name is, you have your own identity. And right? I do a lot of identity work with my clients. Who is it you want to become, and what needs to happen for you to become that? And everything in your reality is a reflection of what's happening internally, or things you're avoiding internally. And so you want to begin to look at conflict instead of something bad and you want to avoid it, which used to be me. I would just avoid it at all costs. I don't want to speak about it. I don't want to talk about it. If something bothers me, I'm just going to sweep it under the rug. That didn't get me so far, right? That's what actually got me pregnant when I didn't know I could be pregnant, and then I had an abortion. That led to that. So what I want to go into is I've changed and grown a lot in relationships, but I want you to know that wherever you are in business and in interpersonal, there's going to be disagreements. There's going to be things where people don't agree, people don't have the same view, people, this person wants one thing, you want another thing. There's going to be those moments. And instead of running from them or hiding from them or not communicating about it, you need to learn how to navigate and have dialogue to face it head on. So an example of this would be, I want sushi, you want Thai. And you're but I always forgo what I want so that you can get what you want. And you bring this up, and it's and then you bring up years, I've done this for years, we always go where you want to go, and we never get to go where I want to go. And when you have years of built up resentment like that, when you unleash your anger, it comes out in a way that's not really fair to another person, because that person didn't know that you had years of built up anger and pain and resentment and doing things you didn't want to do. And so what I want this live to be about is that you need to realize that in relationships or in anything you do, there's going to be conflict, and you want to have a plan of action of how are we going to resolve conflict. And you want that to be a conversation between you and that person. You don't need to go ask your girlfriends or your guy friends or whatever. You can ask a therapist or a coach, but you don't need to ask 50 million people how you're going to resolve a conflict with someone. You need to go to that person and speak directly to them. This is what's happening. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I want to experience. How can we navigate and move through this? So what I want this live to be about is that you need to realize that in relationships or in anything you do, there's going to be conflict, and you want to have a plan of action of how are we going to resolve conflict. And you want that to be a conversation between you and that person. You don't need to go ask your girlfriends or your guy friends or whatever. You can ask a therapist or a coach, but you don't need to ask 50 million people how you're going to resolve a conflict with someone. You need to go to that person and speak directly to them. This is what's happening. This is what I want to experience. So that's really the only way that your life is going to get better. And you can't be afraid when people say like, oh, I thought you meant this. From my understanding, this was what was communicated. You're like, no, this is actually like, you can't be afraid of people misunderstanding you, and you need to repeat yourself of what you actually said, what you intended to say, and what other people received. So yeah, my moral is don't be afraid of conflicts. Don't sit there and be a people pleaser just to keep the peace. It's better to speak what's on your heart and mind with love than to suppress your true desires, because that doesn't work for anybody, and you end up losing relationships in the process. Trust me, I've done it. And even if you're on the other side and you have an issue with someone, like just receiving, you never want to shame someone for being vulnerable and being open to share what's happening, because conflict actually means that someone wants to like you. When someone just completely walks away and they go away, that's like when they're not interested. Like actually conflict is like, I actually want to grow through conflict with you to resolve something. That's why it's called conflict resolution. And when you can do that consistently with someone, you build trust, you build momentum, and you just build beauty. So I love you. I hope this served. Please share it. And if you want to go more into this about relationships, you can book a one-on-one call with me. Just comment below call. Or I highly recommend my energy mastermind, which starts July 1st. Just comment below energy and I'll get you the details.